This is the Badlands, an endless biome with no naturally spawning animals, no crops of any kinds, there's no trees. There is this bald guy in an RV selling lapis, but still there is nothing out here. And this boy is going to survive 100 days out here, because why not? If you go on to enjoy the video, then please give it a like. If it gets to 3k likes, I'll consider doing 200 days. And if you enjoy content like this, then please consider subscribing. I'd love to hit 200k by the end of the year. Let's do this. Alright, let's make this world. Single biome, Badlands, and wow, there really is nothing out here. Well, let's get moving. The goal was to find one of two things. The Badlands can have areas filled with trees, however I didn't know this at the time, but this is actually defined as a wooded Badlands and wouldn't actually spawn in this world, so that means I am going to have to find myself some naturally spawning surface mine shafts. Little did I know there was literally one inside from where I spawned, but I didn't notice it at the time, go me. Though it only delayed me a couple of minutes, I found one quite quickly, and that's when I noticed a chest, which was weird, I know. Let me quickly check this out, and Raid Shadow Legends, what are you doing here? Nailed it! Listen, unless you've been living under a rock, then you know what this game is, but the question is, how many of you have actually played it? Between the 700 unique champions, super detailed and tactical RPG battle system, and the incredible graphics, there is literally no reason to not go and try it out. You love a good boss fight? Well, let me introduce you to the Hydra. This bad boy not only has multiple heads, but each one of them is their own separate boss fight. For example, this is the head of suffering, and it, well, makes you suffer. Shocking, I know. It has a new special effect called Pain Link, meaning every time you damage it damages you. If you're not careful, it can take out your team so quickly. How about the head of Torment? It uses its ability, True Fear, making your team lose turns and even abilities. It can be very difficult to fight him, but if you're a new player, then I don't want you to worry because I'm going to hook you up. Using the code on screen when you download the game, then you will get the epic champion, the Skin of Stag Knight, designed by YouTube's very own JonTron. Nifty, I know. And if that's not enough for you, how about Sun Wukong, the legendary champion? All you have to do is log into the game on 7 different days, starting now and ending on October 23rd. It is as easy as that. I know you're already sold, so all you have to do is scan the QR code on screen or use one of the links down below to download Raid Shadow Legends to get all these bonuses now. I thank you for watching. Let's get back to it. Anyway, I searched the entire mineshaft, getting all the wood and string that I could. It wasn't a lot, but hey, it was a start. But as the night drew nearer, I knew that I needed to get somewhere safe or get some more string. I did see a single light source in the distance, which would lead me to another mineshaft. I did have to sacrifice some food to, you know, not die, kind of important. And a little bit of string later, and day 1 was complete. On day 2, I couldn't go any further into the mineshaft since, you know. So let's head back up. A minecart? Beetroots, huh? Kinda just tempted to starve. Alright, fine, I'll grab them. I also grabbed myself a little bit of wood, and I saw myself another chest, and well, got myself some melon seeds. Nice. After getting some more goodies and moving around, I found myself a spot that looks exactly the same to every other spot around, except this spot right here. This spot will be my new home. I actually did take a quick look in the water, hoping to find myself some dirt, but sadly I couldn't find any. The only thing I found in the water was water. Shocking, I know. And so plan B on day 3 was to get myself into a nearby cave to see if I can collect some of the basics. That include, of course, the precious material of dirt. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. There was also plenty of iron and coal to mine. I didn't want to get myself caught down here, so I decided to head back for the time being. Did I fall back into the cave taking half my health? Well, quite frankly, I don't think that's any of your business. I was able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone on day 4, digging out all this sand, going through 2 shovels in the process, may I add, and replacing it all with dirt was simple enough. The seeds were down, and now it was onto the walls. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far because I didn't collect enough sand, but, you know, this is a start. After digging some more sand on day 5, I was able to get the walls finished. It is a little compound, admittedly, but it is going to keep me safe from the mobs. I then remembered that you can grow glowberries. Such a shame I ate most of them. And after setting that up, I spent the rest of the day pretty much just making things safe. Lighting up the compound, getting myself some water, adding it to the farms. It was basic stuff really, but it was really going to help with the longevity of this world. And after adding some more water sources on day 6, it admittedly probably wasn't very necessary, but you know, I need to hurry up on the food source since the only thing I have was rotten flesh, and I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't that tasty. Now, admittedly, it was quite slow going here. I'm clearing up the dead bushes, filling in holes, but with literally no food to my name, I literally do not have a choice. I did take a quick pop out to go to a mineshaft to grab myself a bit extra wood, but that is honestly about it for this day. On day 7, I was fishing. Yep, it really was a desperate time for me. Here's my hole by the end of the day. I'm gonna starve out here. Day 8, and these crops are taking forever. What is it about Texas and making these crops grow slowly? Thank you. Jokes aside, may as well build my myself a base. I had a somewhat idea for the base that will probably go terribly, but I'm willing to give it a go. Building continued on day 9, adding some height to the base. I knew what I wanted. I just need to get myself some terracotta. Unfortunately, with the limited resource that I have, these tools are breaking one after another. I did get some spare there, so we're okay. Anyway, it was back to building. I did the maths on day 10, and I still need a lot of terracotta, potentially up to 400 pieces. So after mining plenty, I decided to make a start on it and see how much more I needed from there. You could ignore Goggleless Haven, by the way. I know he looks terrible. I assume by just looking at this, some of you already know exactly what I am making, and it won't take too long to build. By day 11, I completed using white terracotta, and so I now need to get myself some brown, which was easy enough. I just need to fill out the top, and I didn't get enough, son of a. And with the outside done on day 12, can you guys guess what it is yet? I assume a lot of you can. Also, update on the crops. Seriously, 1 beetroot has grown this entire time. I know, I'm swimming in it. Gotta get me one of those thumbnails where it's me like drowning in beetroots. You know the one I'm talking about. Now I just need to get myself some cactus. I need to get myself some glass. I just need something black and I will be good to go. Now I didn't know if black terracotta spawn naturally or anything, so I did have to have a quick look around. If black terracotta does spawn, it's not on the surface at least, so I don't really know what to do about that. The beetroot, by the way, it filled me up half a hunger hunch, which yeah, I might as well not have bothered. Also, there is no squid or fish in the water, so I am gonna have to go to plan B to get myself some black stuff, and that is I'm gonna have to get myself some coal. But before I do that, I gotta fix it at the back, because it unfortunately was not right. After grabbing some more cotta to fix it up, I yet again was very desperate for food, and so I went back to fishing. Since these crops were taking forever, I did get myself a priest of level though, which is actually going to be very useful in the long run. After getting a couple of pieces of fish and cooking them up, I made myself a plan to get myself that coal. Now, if I've done the maths right, I need about 44 blocks of coal to complete this. That's about 6 stacks of coal, so perfect time to finally go caving and get all of that. And so into the caves I went. I had a simple rule: if I see any iron or coal, I will mine it. And so I did just that, spending 2 full days down here mining the basics. Yes, you hear 2 full days, because here I am still mining away on day 15. It was the same thing, just a different day. An update to the beetroot situation on day 16, and they just suck. This is awful. Anyway, I'm back now. Let's get the coal on, and with a little bit of extra brown terracotta, and for those who haven't figured it out, it is my head. I've been told I've been living in my head before, but this is ridiculous. Yes, thank you. I'll be here on video. I can't believe it took 16 days to get full iron armor, by the way. This world is way more challenging than I thought it would be in the weirdest ways. Especially with these beetroots, they are just useless. On day 17, I was really ready to go caving, get myself some diamonds, or maybe even go explore the world to see what I could find. But nope, I physically can't, because yet again, I have no food, so I am back to fishing. You know, I've done this for a while, and I can't really think of any other video where I've been so desperate for food, and that's just kind of crazy. So I fished. Oh, a melon. Haven, there's a melon. Haven, there's a melon. Haven, look at Haven, let me do the melon thing. Haven, see the melon. Oh, there you go. Okay, yes, melon. All right, let's replant it. On day 18, with some spare food, I decided to head out. Not very far, mind you. I just wanted to grab myself some sugarcane along with a little bit of extra wood in the mineshaft that I found. This mineshaft also has some logs, so that's some extra wood for me. Isn't that nice? On day 19, and I really couldn't tell whether this was rain or thunder because there was no rain nor thunder, but I was able to sleep, so that was an easy day. There was a little break I took between day 19 and 20, so when I came back on 20, I did have to spend a minute remembering exactly where I was, and after quickly catching up, I started making myself a storage shack. Now I'm confident it won't look great in the end, but still, I have a lot of red sand to play with, and I need an area to put all my stuff. Now, in retrospect, on day 21, using this limited wooden planks I have for building materials was probably not the best decision. Nevertheless, I finished the roof off. It'll do. That is my comment. After getting in the walls, literally, I just need to get the chests in. So that would, whole 5 planks to my name. It's fine. Everything's fine. On day 22, and with 1 fish and 3 bread to my name, I headed out. Gotta find me a mine shaft. Now, as far as I'm aware, the only structure that can spawn above ground in the Badlands is a mine shaft. So finding one really wasn't that hard. It's more of the fact that I can only find planks, which is not a renewable resource, meaning that I'm gonna have to keep exploring further and further out every single time that I want wood, unless I can figure out something else. Anyway, nearly 3 stacks of planks later and 1 floating bush in the sky, well, I'm heading home. On day 23, after I got the chest in, I was fairly confident that I had enough chests in for the time being, so good stuff. I'm yet again in a situation of next to no food, so the first thing we gotta do is fish. Again, after a full day and nearly a broken rod, I got myself 15 extra fish, which, listen, I'll take it. It's something. And with that fish cooked up on day 24, I can finally go into the caves, actually get myself some diamonds or something crazy, I know. The first day down here was just iron mining. I didn't mine it because I need myself plenty of iron, so getting all of that was pretty good. And on day 25, the iron mining completed. Boy, was it quite nice. I also got myself some coal, and then I got myself to the deep slate caves, which, well, they had nothing whatsoever. Okay, that was a lie. They did have skeletons. They got skeletons, but I'm not really sure how useful that is to me. On day 26, and could it be a diamond? Well, I never. And what's this? More diamonds behind lapis? Well, I never. And more, and more. Never have I been so excited for 8 whole diamonds. It took me a second to find a lava pool, but I did get there in the end. Let's mine myself some obsidian. It did take a while for me to get out of the cave, but it was by day 28 that I was able to get back home. Well, it was almost 9:28, but I'm safe and sound, which is the most important thing. And on day 29, we can finally enchant. Like I say, it is slow going, but we are making progress. And now let me quickly head out into the world, grab myself some gravel, because we are gonna go into the nether. You know, I don't really remember the last time that I went into the nether and had a portal like this, you know, just floating in the sky. At least there was a fortress like right next to me. I will need to quickly leave, grab myself some blocks and head back in. Now, it wasn't safe by any means, but here I am now. I decided that I didn't want to enter the fortress just yet, so I decided for the time being, let me head back and get more stuff. Shockingly enough, the one material that I'm missing is food! On day 30, and there is actually one easy way for me to get food, and that was bone meal. And I started bone mealing away the melon stems, which instantly grew the melons. Oh, right, melon! It's still not a lot, but it does give me options. Though food is definitely an issue, you know what isn't an issue? Iron. I think I've got myself enough for a while. I'm pretty happy with that. Other than a little bit of farming on this day, I'm not gonna lie, I just waited for the crops to grow. It really is difficult out here. But on day 31, I decided that enough waiting is enough. Let's get into the nether. Now, there was a lot to deal with in here. Magma slime, blazers, wither skeletons. I was actually quite concerned that I wouldn't be able to make it, but I was lucky enough to hold out, getting myself 10 blaze rods in the process. And just like that, I was out of here. I also decided on day 32 that I wanted to get myself a little bit more wood, and so I headed back out into the world. It admittedly wasn't my smartest play though. I ran out of food whilst looking. However, I think I got about as lucky as one man can get in a single day. I found myself a broken nether portal with the best possible food you can get in Minecraft. Don't think I'm lucky enough already? Well, how about this mine shaft over here that has logs? And if you still don't think I'm lucky, then how about this mending book that I got in the minecart? And if you still don't think that I'm lucky, then how about when I was heading back, I found myself a zombie villager. It is worth pointing out that villagers do not spawn in the Badlands, and so if I am wanting to get myself a villager, then well, this is the only way that I'll be able to do so. Problem was, I was a decent bit away from my base, and so I slowly had to bring him back. Turns out he's not a very good swimmer. Good to know for the future. However, it was slowly turning to day, and so I decided to make myself a tactical stop, making him a little bit of a shelter, and now we play the waiting game. And here we are on day 33, waiting. Thrilling, I know. Though once the sun set, I was back on the move. There's not really much to say here. I slowly brought him back to my base, killing the occasional mob along the way, and I got him back safely into this hole. And on day 34, I thought it would be smart to cure him as quick as possible. Now, I did notice I only had the one golden apple, but there was ways around that I can come back to. For now, I am going to return to the nether. Why? I believe it was the easiest way for me to get myself a brown mushroom. May have nearly died along the way, no biggie. On day 35, I turned the brown mushroom into a fermented spider eye. That'll give me a weakness potion. Using the gunpowder, I was able to make it a splash potion. One golden apple later, and well, my job here is done. For now, I did a little bit of planning. On day 36, I went back into the nether. I wanted to find myself a warp forest to get myself some ender pearls. It was definitely a journey, and killing hoglings definitely made it more difficult, but hey, there's another source of food that I can abuse. On day 37, and I found myself a bastion, and it was right next to a warp forest, which was definitely quite nice, and so I made my way through. I was careful to clear out all the mobs until I found myself a golden apple. That actually changes things quite a lot for me. Also got myself some pig step, woo! Oh yeah, there was also some other goodies in here, but nothing other than the stuff I've already mentioned. Now, the reason I actually came in here was I wanted to get myself some ender pearls to find the stronghold, and that way I can use the stronghold to find myself some apples, but I didn't need to do that anymore because I had already found myself the golden apple in the bastion. But I still may as well get the pearls whilst I'm here, and so I started cooking my food and went over. The rest of 37, all of day 38, and all of day 39, I spent my time getting myself some pearls. The problem was the warp forest that I found was very, very small, and so like everything else in this world, things were very, very slow. But on the 39th day, I was able to get myself my 16th ender pearl. It was time for me to head home. By the time I got back, it was day 41. The next goal is for me to get myself a second villager for my soon-to-be the cured villager, or now just cured villager. Let's make him an armor smith. That's a toolsmith, you fool. I am not joking when I tell you that this was the easiest villager upgrade that I've ever done in my entire life. It might have cost me all my coal, but within 2 minutes of starting, I was able to get myself full diamond armor. Seriously, who even needs a cave for diamonds? I combined these 2 Unbreaking 2 books to get them unenchanted, and then enchanted them to get Unbreaking 1, because, of course. Ooh, Prot 2, nice. So the night was here. Let's look around for a zombie villager. I'll save everybody some time and say no zombie villager was found this night. And then on day 42, I returned back to the Nether. Why? I want to get myself some bone blocks, of course. Oh, hot tourist destination, nice. Now, I've already mentioned this a few times, but things in this world were very difficult when it comes to the resource sides of things. I found myself 2 separate veins of these bone blocks in 2 separate biomes and only got myself 18 bone blocks. I don't know why things were so difficult here, but what can you do? I got back on day 43 and did something disgusting. Please forgive me, but I bone mealed the beetroot. It should at least sort out my food situation, at least I'm hoping. And then I waited until the night. Yet again, there was no zombie villager. And on day 44, I decided that I'm not waiting around for the night again. I'm gonna do something productive and go and find the stronghold. I made myself some eyes of ender and went off into the world. It took until the next day for me to be able to find the stronghold. I quickly dug down and found the library with a couple of decent books, mainly 2 power 4 books, which was pretty good all things considered. And the portal, well, it had 11 eyes missing, which I already had. But now I'm gonna make myself a nether portal and slowly work my way back to the main portal, just because it's an easier way for me to get from one portal to the other. I made myself a 1x1 sky bridge across the lava because of course that's what dum-dums do, and just like that, it was night. Alright, we are back on day 47. Alright. Well, I have myself some books, so let's make myself some bookshelves. I am out of wood, sadly, so I will have to explore yet again to find myself some mineshaft. I spent all day searching for these mineshafts, getting myself 3 stacks of wood in the process. I only stopped because my axe broke, to be honest with you, but it is time for me to head home. But listen, if you've watched this video so far, then you know that me returning from mineshafts is always me getting lucky. As you can see, there's another zombie villager. And also a potato! Let's go! The night was spent bringing him home. I did learn from the lack of swimming ability that the last one had, so I made this guy a bridge, and just like that, he is home. And so on day 48, I quickly cured him. I also got some taters planted, and now we wait. We're completed, let's do all the trades. I completed the trades on day 49, had a Fortune 1 diamond pickaxe, which is very nice. I could combine it multiple times to get myself a good enchanted pickaxe. Speaking of good enchants, this sword. Oh, this sword. Now I just need to get myself 20 levels, but not too bad all things considered. My next job was I really wanted to find myself a way to get myself some more beds. For now, I can manage the extra 1. I also found a use for the beetroots. About time, seriously. Day 50 and they making love. They making love. Feels so creepy watching them. Though he will grow up to be a shepherd, and that's how I will be able to get my beds and stuff. But now I need myself some levels, so I returned to the Nether with the goal to mine as much quartz as possible. It took me the full day to get myself to 27 levels, which was easy enough, and by the end of day 51, I was also able to get myself up to 30, and it was on day 52 that I got myself to 36 levels. I'm pretty sure that'll be enough for the time being. Let's head home. Here we are on day 53, and alright, let's enchant my bow. Awful, I tell you, it's just awful. The second enchant wasn't that bad, but I'm going to be honest with you, I really didn't have anything else to enchant, so I may as well give it a third go. There was no infinity, but honestly, I think I'll take it. The rest of the levels I'm going to put towards making the pickaxe as good as I can. Efficiency 1 kinda sucks, but maybe I can upgrade that in the future as well. I know I make the joke a lot as well, but I really am surviving on melons out here, and I am actually secretly loving it. Other than that, I just went out into the world to grab some extra flint, because after the shepherd, I want to get myself a Fletcher, because I am going to need arrows at some point. And on day 54, I'll be honest with you, it was back to a waiting game. I was just waiting for these babies to grow so I can move on and do some other things. I was able to scrape together another bed, which, well, it's something, but yeah, day 54 was a waiting game. The next day on day 55, and man, I'm gonna have myself a lot of shears. I did myself some trading, buying, villager hole expanding, and yeah, for the time being, I think the village are good to go. As long as I keep feeding them beetroots, that'll be a task. And that pretty much summed up day 56 as well. The melons were very, very important to me, and the beetroots, yeah, the villagers can have them. Yeah, that's what I meant. With the villagers finally grown up on day 57, I can make myself some good trades. I can get myself some arrows, I can get myself some bread. It is more than enough for me to be able to kill the Ender Dragon, so let's do this. I was halfway across the Nether Ridge when I remembered that I have a bunch of good enchanted books that I've not used, so let me just quickly head back and use them. I was able to turn my bow to power 5, I was able to put mending on my pickaxe. I can't do efficiency 4 just yet, but something tells me I'm about to get a lot of levels, but I will add punch damage one on the bow because, you know, well, why not? And so on day 58, we went in. And honestly, things went pretty well. Though I don't think I've ever actually seen a pillar spawn in the void like this before, which is kind of cool. I don't think it's a rare thing. I just think it's a thing that I've never seen. I did also nearly kill myself on a cage over here, you know, no biggie. But other than that, things went very, very well. I now just need to find myself the egg. It didn't take much longer than it should have. I don't know why I lost the egg, but there we go. I quickly went back home on day 59, basically enchanting all of my armor to make sure I got protection 4 on all of it, and then put efficiency 4 on my pickaxe, and yeah, I think my gear is about as good as it can be. Let's head back to the end. And then on day 60, we went through the portal and began the very, very, very long journey. Here's an update on day 64 where I found my first end city. It was just a single tower. No ship, no anything worthwhile, so I'm just gonna move on. And it took another hour, but I got it on day 67. There's an actual end city with a ship. I got myself some shulker shells, got myself the ship, and I got myself the elytra. It might have taken over 2 hours, but at least we are done. And I got back home to my base at day 69. Night 69, should I say. And so after setting up a little bit of an egg display on day 70, I returned to the nether. I need to get myself some netherite stuff, so first things first, let's go and see if we can find a bastion. It only took me until the next day to find a brand new bastion. I'm pretty sure I searched every single chest in here, got myself the snout trimming, even got myself some ancient debris, but sadly for me, there was no upgrade. Well, I guess we're moving on. And another hour of searching got me to day 74. The good news is I got myself a bastion on this day, and even better news is the first chest I searched, I got myself a netherite upgrade. So we're good, with nothing else to search yet, let's move on. Now I could see myself the portal on day 75, but I'm not going in there just yet. I need to get myself some more debris. Oh nice. So I need to get myself 24 pieces of ancient debris in total. I have 2 already, which means I need 22 in total. Or I guess that makes it 0 on day 82. I am done. Let's head home. I did the maths on day 83 and I need myself 35 more diamonds for duping the trimming. I currently have 6 diamonds, which means I need 29 in total, and so I went back into the caves. I did find my first single vein of diamond today, got me free. The next vein of diamonds that I got myself was on day 84. That got me to a total of 7 diamonds, and another vein of diamonds around the corner got me to 11. And then on day 85, I found myself 2 diamond veins pretty much next to each other, and both of them was a decent size. I had 11 diamonds, and then I shot up all the way to 34 diamonds thanks to these 2 veins. We can finally head home. On day 86, I cooked up all the netherite and all the gold to make everything I needed. Looking snazzy, Havenhand, looking good. And then on day 87, it was now a race towards the clock. Is it possible for me to get a full beacon in 13 days? Well, I'm gonna try. Just need to get myself some food. Safe to say I think it's sorted at this point. And now I need to try myself some luck with some wither skeletons. Spoiler, didn't work out very well. Took me until day 89 to get my first skull, and the funny thing is, pretty much straight away afterwards I got my second skull, so getting 2 skulls a day afterwards made me think I was going to get myself pretty lucky here. But sadly that wasn't going to be the case. Here we are on day 92, and yeah. And so now we really had to move on day 93. I made myself some golden apples and I took on the wither. I was a little bit concerned about surviving this, so I decided to play it a little bit safe, but all things considered, it was nothing to worry about, and now I can make myself the beacon. Task is now to get the materials, because unfortunately I may have spent all my materials on either trading or golden apples, and so I have next to nothing to use for this. And so I went back into the caves mining anything that I could. Mining all the gold, all the iron that I could potentially find, hoping to get myself enough materials for a full beacon. I gave it the good old college try, but by day 98 I wasn't very helpful. I did make a very late push to it, getting myself this giant iron vein, but I'm still fairly confident it wasn't going to be enough. I got myself 2 rows worth of stuff, which it's something. But knowing I need to cook this all up on day 99, I got myself back and started cooking everything that I could. And honestly now, it was just a little bit of a waiting game. I was doing this as efficiently as possible, made as much furnaces as I could. That being said, I still did not get done today. I actually got completed on day 100 and made as much of the beacon as I could. Turns out I was about 17 blocks short, which is not that bad all things considered, but still quite a bit away. Honestly, this world was so much more difficult than I thought it was ever going to be, and a lot of it was just, well, grinding for the basics of Minecraft. It was very fun, and I really would recommend it if you are wanting to do a single biome challenge. I thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, everybody.